Tulsa to try and stay with pace, and Orange County, who sit in 8th spot. We've got lineups for you on the other side of this break. It's going to be a good one between the Oakland Roots and FC Tulsa, and it's presented by Modelo. Coming up next.
The only way to win is to do it.
The processions will start that way, and then usually subs.
Sunday action in the USL Championship features the Oakland Roots taking on FC Tulsa, an important Western Conference showdown sponsored by Modelo this Sunday afternoon. Alongside Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Jack Edwards here in the broadcast booth on CBS Sports Galazo. Both of these teams coming in a bit of a difficult spell of form, and the standings in the Western Conference can show you where they sit entering the day. In 6th place, Oakland have lost 3 consecutive games and have slipped into 6th on 40 points. For FC Tulsa in 9th place, they're just off that playoff line. They're 4 points behind Orange County, who sit in 8th place. They have that game in hand. It's going to be played here today. A chance to climb back 1 point off that playoff line in 8th place with the match here today. And Ricky, we talked about that form for Oakland. 3 successive defeats, a tough one entering today.
I do think for Gavin Clinton, the back line is going to be the top priority, right? Because you've been leaking goals over your last 3 games. You've conceded 8 times, and you haven't scored a goal. So we might see this Oakland Roots shift into a back 4, have a double pivot. I do think the first 10 to 15 minutes, how good can you be in your structure, and hope that you players high up the field can be those game changers that they are.
They'll hope that coming back home is a chance to swing back to winning ways. Today's warm-ups are sponsored by UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals. It features Johnny Rodriguez. Him getting back on the score sheet is a big factor.
10 goals this season. He's going to stay high, but can also drop in and be part of the build-up phase. Look for him to combine with players around him, but also can produce that little bit of individual brilliance. I do think for Gavin Clinton, what does the service look like into Johnny Rodriguez? Because he's shown he can be a star for the Oakland Roots.
For the visitors, FC Tulsa, they entered the day just outside the playoff spots. In last match against Rhode Island, they scored first, but conceded 2 second-half goals to fall to a 2-1 defeat on the road at Rhode Island.
I think you're looking at consistency for this FC Tulsa side, because you do all the hard work in that first 45 minutes, but as the game progressed, now you start to get a little bit more expanded. You cannot afford that against Rhode Island side. Big 3 points that drop for Mario Sanchez and this FC Tulsa side. What does the reaction look like for the visiting side here today?
Johan Peñaranda has been a very important key since joining. 16 appearances, 64 saves, remarkable.
He's been so good in between the 6. He's comfortable with the ball at his feet, so he has the ability to change a point of attack, but he's made some timely and big-time saves for FC Tulsa. Look for him to keep his side in the game. Johan Peñaranda, he's been massive for FC Tulsa.
Since signing in June, he has started 16 of 17 games, a massive key to FC Tulsa with any success they may have in the match here today. It's important for both of these sides, Oakland to try and reassert their spot in the Western Conference playoffs, Tulsa to try and stay with pace, and Orange County, who sit in 8th spot. We've got lineups for you on the other side of this break. It's going to be a good one between the Oakland Roots and FC Tulsa, and it's presented by Modelo, coming up next.
The only way to win is to do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots have teamed up. We're leading the charge to address food insecurity, empowering all athletes to improve physical health, and expanding the health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
Do you like getting cash back on your credit card? A free coffee when you fill your cafe's punch card? A complimentary dessert with your restaurant order? Then you'll like getting a 5% discount on your electricity with Ava Community Energy's Bright Choice service. Visit avaenergy.org to learn more about Ava's low rates for electricity.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. This isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. You find diamonds in the rust to put your own stamp on stock parts, turning metal into murals and detailing every detail. Because it's the things you make that show what you're made of. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Modelo. Kickoff is nearing between these two sides. The Oakland Roots and FC Tulsa. Our match today presented by Modelo. We can look first at Oakland's starting lineup entering today. 3 changes made by Gavin Glinton after a 2-0 defeat at Hartford last time.
Starts out in the 3-back, could quickly turn into a back 4. Gomez and Baca, what does that relationship look like in terms of Baca being a little bit deeper? Now you afford Danny Gomez to go and search the game, but it all comes down to that front 3. Dom Dwyer, you want him to say hi. John Rodriguez has come century to look to combine Sinistero playing the right-hand side, and you look for the width for Rasmussen and Memo Diaz. How good can they be on both sides of the ball for Gavin Glinton?
For Tulsa now on the other side, a 2-1 defeat at Rhode Island. There are 2 changes made by Mario Sanchez.
A team that is struggling to find the back of the net. So you go into a front 2 with Bibu and Stojanovic. What does that look like in terms of that relationship? Stojanovic might play a little bit more central, so Bibu will have the freedom to go drop in, but also stretch the back line. Diallo and Andrew Booth, how good can they be at playing this game on Mario Sanchez at the speed he wants to play at?
3-4-3 shape for FC Tulsa. On the road here today in Oakland, important match for both sides. On the left side of your screen in the light kits are going to be the visitors. FC Tulsa heading from left to right. We have our first whistle from Thomas Snyder crossing the halfway line, and they're all black kits. Are the Oakland Roots debuting the 3rd kit in collaboration with Los Racas here on Conoce Tus Raíces night in Oakland. Jack Edwards and Ricky Lopez, that's been here with you in the broadcast booth. A pleasure to be with you this Sunday afternoon here on CBS Sports Galazo. Tough run of form for FC Tulsa, 5 without a win. Their last win coming back on August 24th at Detroit City. Just 3 goals scored in these last few matches for Oakland after a 1-0 win over top of the West New Mexico. They have lost 3 consecutive matches, not scoring in any of them, including a heavy 5-0 defeat against North Carolina. It's Tulsa sliding that one along near side. St. Clair trying the ball forward. Rolls out now for Booth. St. Clair again as an option on this near side. First time delivery, it's left. A clever move, easily saved by Paul Blanchette early on in our match.
Not even 2 minutes in, you just see the numbers for FC Tulsa higher up the field. Yosef will make those darting runs to really pull out one of the 2 center backs, which are Logue and Gagi. Communication for the Oakland Roots is going to be a top priority to get a clean sheet. Because like we mentioned in the open, Jack, this team has been leaking goals as of late.
We look now at our injury report brought to you by UCSF Health. None reported for Oakland. A big one though, the 3rd name listed there for Tulsa, Edwin Lasso, went off 22 minutes into our match. Last time out against Rhode Island, missing him for this next one. Mario Sanchez will hope that he'll be available come playoff time should they get there, but in the midfield, it's a big loss for this Tulsa side as a free kick is given right at the halfway line.
Yeah, he gives this FC Tulsa side a lot of range in that central part of the field. So now Diallo and Andrew Booth, as one goes a little bit higher, the other one needs to provide coverage in front of your back 4.
There's Gavin Glinton, interim head coach since April. He's come in and help the side push closer and closer towards securing another playoff berth. Mario Sanchez, his first season with Tulsa, trying to make it back to the playoffs for the first time since 2021. Throw in taken. Bibu moving that along. Yosef back to Diallo. Again, St. Clair. Arcing one into the box. Some early possession for Tulsa. It's pushed away. Johnny Rodriguez. A little bit of contact going against Rodriguez, and forward earns the free kick.
It does seem like the Oakland Roots have played into a back 4. So you have Rasmussen on the left-hand side, Lowe, Gagi centrally, and then you have Memo Diaz on the right-hand side. Baca and Riley as a double pivot, Danny Gomez as a number 10. So you're looking at Baca to be a little bit more defensive-minded. So now you have Gomez and Riley. How good can they be at supporting their front 3, which is Dom Dwyer, Sinistera, and Johnny Rodriguez?
Long ball forward. Sinistera will get on to the end of it, making his 4th appearance and signing with Oakland. Memo Diaz layering one forward, but unable to link up with Riley. Shows the versatility of Memo Diaz in particular, has a team-leading 7 assists, tied for a club record, 2nd in the USL Championship. He's played as a right winger at times this year, a right wing back very commonly, all the way back to playing as a right back now, up and down that right flank.
I think we take that conversation a step further, Jack, even for Memo Diaz, but the Oakland Roots as a whole. We had the chance to speak with Mario Sanchez ahead of this game, and we said, what did you expect from the Roots? He's like, I don't really know. We've seen them play a 3-back system. We've seen them play a 4-back system. A lot of rotations. Makes them a nightmare to deal with and prepare for the Oakland Roots.
Yosef receiving this one, right-footed delivery. He's got a wide-open St. Clair who gets it. Can he keep that ball in play? Fires it across. Actually may have gone out of play. It did indeed. It's going to be out for a goal kick. Clever ball across. Yosef picking out St. Clair, but his touch just a little heavy here.
Just lets him down, because if he has a clean first touch, now you have the ability to pick up your head and pick out one of the 3 teammates that are making a clever run inside the 18-yard box.
Blanchett, appearance number 25 for the 30-year-old. Dom Dwyer getting in a tussle. The back line, that pass putting Peñaranda under a bit of pressure, and he does well to keep that one in play. Not an ideal pass back to your goalkeeper. Bibu dropping off, winning that header. Diallo now can pick up a head and spray one forward. First touch turned into more of a pass, but only rolls back to Blanchett. This Oakland side, fascinating season they've had so far. The ups and the downs they've had, winning 12 matches. Their goal difference, though, at -14 entering the day. It was coming after some heavy defeats across the year, losing 5-2 here earlier this season, 5-0 defeats on the road against Pittsburgh and North Carolina in recent weeks. A team that is very hard to gauge week in, week out. Bibu rolling that one across to Booth. Segrist forward.
Talk about tactical flexibility as well for this FC Tulsa side. Electing to build that into 3, so now you have Owen Dom and St. Clair as wingbacks to provide a little bit of service.
Bibu just clips that one into the box. Blanchett doesn't get it fully, and that's just hacked away. Anything will do down the field. Sinistera pressing, calmly done by Alexi Swahi.
Don't think it's any coincidence as well that we've seen FC Tulsa through the first 7 minutes really attack from the wide parts of the field and really test the shape of Oakland Roots as pumping balls into a dangerous area.
Rasmussen, left back, being dragged deeper from that pass from Blanchett. Clipped forward, only finding Bradley Bourgeois, his high arcing pass. It'll fall for Tulsa. St. Clair yet again. Clipped into the box. Blanchett stays on his line, dragged across frame. It sits up, and an opening goal for Tulsa. What a start, Aaron Bibu. Just 7 minutes into the match, his 3rd goal since joining on loan. A crucial start for Tulsa. Finding the back of the net.
Mario Sanchez elected to play with his front 3, so now you get more numbers. Stojanovic makes this clever run, but it's all about this run from Malo Yosef. As he slashes across that near post, what does that do? That pulls out one of the 2 center backs, Gagi or Logue, to open up a space for a secondary run. The cutback for Bibu. Pops off Menmo Diaz, and just watch the technical ability, how quickly he gets his hips around it. Back across where it came from, in the blink of an eye, FC Tulsa take a deserving 1-0 lead here in Oakland.
Back-to-back games with a goal for Aaron Bibu. It was a remarkable left-footed finish from outside the box that opened the scoring against Rhode Island 8 minutes into the match. This one credited 8 minutes into the match as well. Yet again, back-to-back early goals for Bibu. Will it be a different story this time around on the road for Tulsa? It went under a lot of pressure after taking that lead, outshot 24-4 against Rhode Island. Noah Fuson scoring in the 69th minute, and then the 92nd minute goal from Albert Dikwa, leading to no points going the way of Tulsa. With that goal, it's $100 to the Berkeley Humane Society, generously donated by our partner LJ Cruz Company. Donate or adopt a shelter pet at berkeleyhumane.com. Tulsa with a free kick. Thomas Snyder signaling for that. Rolled back by Diallo. Goal this early in the match, Ricky, does it change anything for either side, or is it as you were?
I think in the mental side for the Oakland Roots, a side that's now conceded 9 without scoring a goal for Gavin Glinton. So what does that look like in terms of your mental state? Does it galvanize the troops? You're looking at leaders on the field, whether it is Logue, whether it is Rafael Baca, to get the side on the ball a little bit more and take the game away from FC Tulsa, because it's been all one-way traffic for the visiting side. And for Mario Sanchez, that's a massive goal. Yeah, you can drop back a little bit deeper, which you've been really good defensively as of late. You don't have to go and search the game. It's a massive goal for Bibu and FC Tulsa.
Sanchez mentioning the injury that Lasso sustained as a big turning point in the match against Rhode Island last time out. Of course, not going to have him from the onset in the match here today. Pass going behind Danny Gomez. It's a free kick, though, for the Roots. Referee wants it taken in the spot of the foul. No Nabil Hackshaw as well on the side for the Roots, something that Mario Sanchez mentioned as a player they were looking out for to potentially take out of the game. He's not on the squad, no need to deal with his threat. Center back capable of stepping into midfield at times.
I think that was very prevalent on the goal that they just conceded as well. No communication, no rotation, and passing players off. Far too easy for FC Tulsa to get the opening goal within the first 10 minutes here on the road.
Memo Diaz stands over this free kick. It's dead center of the field, quite deep. They'll roll it quickly. Baca clips it across. Rasmussen brings it down. Maybe a chance for a left-footed delivery from the fullback. Rolls it back for Gomez. His delivery easily dealt with, pushed away. Diaz, his pass, Sinisterra takes a touch to it. It's one back though by Tulsa, and there's some numbers in the attack. Very stretched Oakland defense. Good work from Sinisterra tracking back to intercept that pass. It's back with the Roots. Bounces up, hits the hand of Johnny Rodriguez. Rodriguez, team leading 10 goals. We mentioned him in the open. He has not scored in 6 games. In those 6 games, the Roots have scored just 3 goals. Sinisterra pressed tightly. Segrist in the end boils over into a foul.
Just see how aggressive FC Tulsa has been with that back 3, Segrist, Bourgeois, and Swahi, like for like, with Rodriguez, Dwyer, and Sinisterra, not giving them the ability to get turned and face towards their attacking goal. And a really impressive start for this FC Tulsa side on the defensive side of the ball.
Clipped forward, cushioned by Dwyer. Lofted over the top, one to chase. Rolled across, Bibu. Already 1 goal on the day. Closed down by Rasmussen. Now Booth. St. Clair offering the wide option as always. Solid delivery into the box. Baca gets ahead to it. Rodriguez on the turn, past Booth. Sinisterra. Rafael Baca making his 2nd consecutive start, his first 2 for his new side. Rodriguez on the turn, earns the free kick. And a very dangerous set-piece opportunity here for the Roots, definitely in shooting range. Rodriguez, a clever turn, earns the free kick for his side.
Best bit of possession for the Oakland Roots. They're calm, they're decisive. But Johnny Rodriguez, in movement before he gets the ball, shows like he's going to make the run down the channel, comes back, and really clever as he just lets the ball come across his body, puts himself between him and Bourgeois. Any contact, he goes down. And it's a really interesting location for the Oakland Roots. Plethora of options here for Dom Dwyer and Memo Diaz.
Johan Peñaranda in between the sticks, making his 17th appearance of the season. Mentioned those numbers in the open, 64 saves since joining. He was the USL Championship Player of the Month for the month of July. Those 64 saves are good for 15th in the league, which doesn't sound too remarkable, but he's only played just about half of the games potentially available for him. He may be tested for the first time in the match today. Memo Diaz with the right foot. It'll be left. That one's just wide. Fans here thought that one found the back of the net from Dom Dwyer. Just not quite able to find that one on target.
Throughout his career, we've seen Dom Dwyer have the ability to strike a ball with his left foot and his right foot. Alexa go around the wall, aiming for that right shoulder of Andrew Booth. And Aranda sees it a little bit late. Fortunate enough for him, just wide of that near post.
Bourgeois almost losing possession there. Over the top, Bibu was looking at the assistant. Felt that he had stayed onside. Assistant on the near side disagreeing. 15-minute mark in this match, and Oakland conceded in the 8th minute. Oakland have conceded 11 goals in the first 15 minutes of the first half. Across the USL Championship, that is the second most in the league. Over the top. Rodriguez running for that one. Referee whistling for offsides. And Uranda claiming it.
And those are the types of runs that you need from the Oakland Roots. As FC Tulsa is playing with a 3-back system, so now outside in from Johnny Rodriguez and Sinisterra, that's when you cause a little bit of confusion between Swahi and his center backs as well. Because Dom Dwyer, he's going to occupy Swahi. So now how do you create an overload for the Oakland Roots on the top line? It's going to be really important and crucial to their success.
Riley slides that back to Blanchette. Long ball forward from Riley, out of play. After dominating the possession early on in our match for Tulsa, they have conceded it to almost an even 50-50 split. Mario Sanchez looking on. His side have a really important match here today. They got 5 more coming up after this one. Interestingly, for those final 5, 4 of them are at home. Tulsa in the match today, currently 4 points off entering the day of that playoff line. The win could be very impactful in trying to continue to work their way back into that playoff discussion. Thrown centrally, but it's turned back over. Oakland, Dwyer trying that first-time pass, stepping forward, Bourgeois. His clearance turns into a solid pass, and it forces Marvelashvili to put a good, strong challenge in. Kevin Glinton looking on, hoping that the tweaks he made from that last match pan out. Over the top, St. Clair gets that one high. Blanchette calls off Rasmussen. Goalkeeper claims.
Rasmussen having a really difficult time with his decision-making and understanding, do I help out Logar Gagi centrally, because there is a little bit of an overload, but when he comes centrally and narrow, now you give St. Clair the ability to be direct. So it's a nice little tactical wrinkle that we've seen from Mario Sanchez, cause a little bit of confusion and making the 2 outside backs make a decision in their positioning.
You mentioned Memo Diaz sliding up and down that right-hand side from attack to defense. How much of a thought process change is it moving from a wing-back role that Rasmussen's played a lot so far this year into a more full-back role?
I think now you have more responsibility on the defensive side, right? Because top priority is defense, and then if you find an opportunity to join the attack, that's when you can. But as a wing back, when you play a 3-back system, now it's both sides evenly. But for Memo Diaz, I think he's found that right amount of balance, and he's been one of, if not the best wing back in all of the USL Championship with 7 assists to go with it. But as of the first 20 minutes here, that's why you start to see FC Tulsa really pinpoint on this near side and asking questions of Rasmussen.
Bourgeois, St. Clair. Tough fall in the midfield for Andrew Booth. He's still down, slowly getting back to his feet. Baca climbs, gets ahead to it. Another tough fall. A pair of players a little slow to get up for Tulsa, including Booth, who is still down.
It's not a position that you can afford if you are Mario Sanchez. We talked about Edwin Lazo. He's out, and how massive he's been for FC Tulsa. But Andrew Booth, probably the second most impactful player in that position, just slips off of his right knee. Hopefully he's okay to continue on. Not what you want if you're Mario Sanchez and FC Tulsa.
This injury timeout is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. Booth getting some attention. That's a good point you make, Ricky. Just the slight slip there. It looked initially like it was a coming together, but it did seem like his foot almost hopped off the ground. Bit of a tough one.
Just watch as he takes a step with his right boot. Just gives out right there a little bit and falls a bit awkwardly.
Slowly making his way back onto his feet here in appearance number 14 since joining back in July. Joined from Miami FC, where he made 17 appearances, had a goal and an assist in 2024 in the USL Championship. For the last 2 seasons with the Charleston Battery. His importance just continuing to enhance with that injury for Lasso. "20 minutes into our match, currently separated by a really well-worked move by FC Tulsa. Stefan Stojanovic finding some space in the box, dragging it back. Aaron Bibu, goal number 3, assist number 3 for Stojanovic in the USL Championship in 2024. Oakland trying to avoid a similar fate to the one they had in 2023, where they were in a very comfortable spot to qualify for the playoffs. Had a really bad run of form in the final 9-10 matches of the season. This time round, with about 9 matches to go, we're in a really comfortable spot. 3 successive defeats, in now with this 4th successive match, trying to avoid another defeat. We still have a little bit of a cushion ahead of that playoff line, but not enough to really be at all complacent. Been as high as 2nd place in the West this season so far. Rodriguez, great bit of footwork to dance around and slide it to Baca now as we've resumed play. Booth is in the midfield. It's 11 v 11 as Tulsa have to defend this into the box. Dealt with by Segrist. But Oakland will pick up the loose ball. Good movement. Baca picks up some space. His delivery, a little overhit, and it's out for a goal kick. Goal kick as we near the halfway point of our first 45 minutes. Peñaranda. Few headers and it falls now to Bibu. Trying to hold that one off, loses out to Baca, much more experienced midfielder. So we talked to Mario Sanchez about trying to layer that into Bibu's game while he's on loan. The flag goes up, it'll be a free kick for offside. His ability to work with players against him, the physical part of his game. He stands at 6'4", beginning to use that frame.
The next step in his progression, because the young man has everything else. He has the pace, he has the quality of finishes, and he's very clinical in front of the net. I do think it's a smart formational change for Mario Sanchez, as now you have 2 players you can play off of. Stojanovic as well, who's a little bit more physical and more matured in that sense. So now you afford Bibu the ability just to go and search the game, whether it's a little bit more comfortable in a build-out phase. But his movement in around that 18-yard box is just so instinctual.
That's how the goal came about. Stojanovic found that space, making the run forward. Bibu was able to play off the ball, perfectly placed pass, found a really well-placed run from Bibu. Made things 1-0. It's Diaz tossing it in. Appeals from both sides. Bit of a delay in that signal. It's gonna be a corner in the end. Almost Memo Diaz trying to strong arm the corner in the end, just standing over that ball. And the referee will concur. It's going to be a corner now for the hosts, the Roots. Diaz, his corner delivery. It's flicked along. If you were there, we're challenging it in black, and now it's a foot race. Rasmussen trying to stay diligent defensively against St. Clair, puts a good foot in, wins the ball back.
It's fantastic defending from Rasmussen. So many times when there's a transitional moments, you hear coaches telling their players just to foul. And if they elect to leave their feet, they have to get it right. Does just that.
Flicked along, Baca continuing that run. This delivery, under hit, dealt with by Swahi. Baca wins it back. Turned 35 earlier in September, into the area. Peñaranda punches it away. Rasmussen rolls it along. Baca loses out in the midfield. Bibu looks up, spies a run down the field. In the end, really well worked by Riley to just let that one fall. Poked away from Rodriguez. Bibu puts a challenge in on Rasmussen, and it bounces kindly for the hosts. Sinistera. Here's Rasmussen, almost inverting more centrally these last few moments. Baca dropping off, and it's Gomez carrying it upfield. Run being made by Riley now. He's bowled over. It's a clean challenge. Riley puts his hands up, questioning where the whistle was. He only heard silence, flicked along. Tulsa maybe a chance to try and push this one forward. Stojanovic drops it off. St. Clair. St. Clair. Diallo clipped forward, no one to attack. Blanchette claims. Well, the Oakland Roots announced the team will play their 2025 USL Championship season in the historic Oakland Coliseum. You can place a deposit now for as low as $5.10. You can visit oaklandrootssc.com today to learn more and make your deposit. It's an emotional week across the sports landscape with the last athletics game at the Oakland Coliseum on Thursday. It's exciting that there will be the opportunity for the Roots to play there in 2025. Up to Gavin Glinton. Grew up watching the Raiders, the Athletics play at the Coliseum in 2008 when he was with the Earthquakes, had the chance to play at the Coliseum. Talked about just a full circle moment that was for him growing up, getting that opportunity, and his side now next season, should he stay with the club as the interim. Love the chance again with the Roots. Gomez, flipping that one forward over the head of Rodriguez. Baca now. Sinistera drags it away, rolls it to the feet of Dwyer. Dwyer bouncing off the challenge, and the referee felt that there'd been a handball in there, and it's not a free kick. It's going against Dwyer, much to his frustration.
The Oakland Roots are having a really difficult time finding out how to break through the defensive structure in FC Tulsa. In the build-out phase, there's no real options, there's no real overloads or rotations in those half pockets, so they're electing to play a little bit more route one. And the problem in doing that now, FC Tulsa, they have the better body position with how physical they've been in that front, that back three. Diallo and Andrew Booth have done a nice little job at winning those second balls. But if you're Gavin Glinton, your side needs to be quicker, more decisive, and cleaner on the ball. On the other side, just look at the center referee, Thomas Schneider, the space right around him. Owen Dunn really clever as he comes centrally now, and that's going to be the outlet to break through the pressure.
Gomez after the tackle by Baca. Dwyer, a few options with him, gets past one. Dom Dwyer into the box, the shot. Parried, saved, and will be picked up in a moment by Peñaranda.
He's a player that you need to become a little bit more influential. Dom Dwyer, only 6 touches, 7 after that action on the game. But Rafael Baca, he gives you the ability to clog passing lanes. But if you're Andrew Booth, you need to be better in terms of your defending structure, but also Sawahi. You cannot give Dom Dwyer that time and space in the attacking 18-yard box. At some point, you have to engage with the striker.
Fighting for that, Yosef loses out, Baca. Rodriguez. His pass will turn it over. Tulsa winning it back. Riley, though, good work in the midfield. Back and forth, possession goes as we creep past the half-hour mark. Again, Rodriguez getting involved. Just fires that one back to Blanchette, resets it with the goalkeeper. Rasmussen.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Jack. Look, there's no real options to play in between. So now Bourgeois wins a 50-50, and yet again, FC Tulsa are making life really difficult for the Oakland Roots. Camden Riley is now dropping a little bit deeper, so now you split Gagi and Logue in hopes that Rasmussen and Memo Diaz can pin back the defensive line for FC Tulsa, but it just hasn't been clean enough for Oakland Roots through the first 32 minutes here.
Riley dropping deep has almost returned to a 3-back formation. Interesting shape right now. Logue is going to receive it here. He's got Rasmussen as an option. Also can try and slide one through the lines, but only finds Bourgeois.
And yet again, there's just a massive disconnect. Watch out here.
Here's Sinistera. Dwyer making the run centrally. He also has Rodriguez. His pass is under hit, though. He had 2 good options. Didn't pick either of them. The pass there letting him down a bit. Played across. Here's Booth. Sinclair goes to Booth. He returns it to St. Clair. Bibu. Slid through the middle. It's Booth. Has it at the top of the 18-yard box. That's a bit of a cheap free kick to give away. Baca won that back. A foul committed there. Marvelashvili.
It's just too easy for FC Tulsa. That's Andrew Booth, your attacking midfielder, about 20 yards out. And just look at the backtracking or lack thereof for the Oakland Roots. Now Gagi is the first one to make an intentional play. A bit late as he lunges in from the backside. But it's just been a bit pedestrian-like, Jack, for the Oakland Roots in terms of on the ball, but also off the ball. The intensity has been lacking. They give FC Tulsa another good opportunity to really ask Paul Blanchette some questions to put him under some pressure.
Free kick in a really interesting spot. Boubacar Diallo has the left foot. Snyder with the whistle. Diallo runs over it. The shot saved by Blanchette. He spilled it a little there, almost offering an option, but it's picked up.
But it's good positioning for Paul Blanchette, because so many times goalkeepers don't trust their wall, so they try to get caught cheating. He stays his ground. Straight at him. Straightforward save for Paul the Wall. Well, Josef just tries to be a little bit clever.
Diallo. Touched by Danny Gomez. That shot, the fourth of the match for Tulsa. All four of them have been on target. 2 shots for the Roots, both of them taken by Dom Dwyer. Match got off to a relatively quick start. That goal from Bibu early on. It has been cagey through large spells of our first half. Rodriguez put under a lot of pressure. He turns it over. It's no foul. Rolled along now. Stojanovic drags that one wide, and I think it's over the back post. It was Bibu, but it's overhit in the end.
It's a right idea from Stojanovic. Veer St. Clair, this ball needs to be played out into the front of Stojanovic so he continues his run. But as you play it a little bit behind him now, you're asking a lot from the forward. His first touch lets him down a little bit. There is a deflection on the end of it, actually. So FC Tulsa win a corner kick.
Getting something out of nothing there. Chance to put some numbers in the box. Josef. Referee wants to pause the taking of that corner. Taking a particular interest in the pushing and shoving around Paul Blanchette, Booth, and Riley. Exchanging pleasantries inside the 6-yard box. Josef now has a short option if he wants it. Sinistera across to defend that should they go short. Josef goes into the box. It's flicked along. Rodriguez chests it down and clears it. Dangerous to take a touch in the box like that, but it's well defended. Good work from Josef. Flipped forward. Big coming together, a clash of heads, and it's going to cause the referee to pause play. Much to the frustration of the home crowd.
Explain how the 3 farthest people on the sideline can see that foul except for the guy standing right in the middle of the park.
Not the best in terms of the decision from Marla Josef. You loft this ball. That favors Gagi because he can run onto it. He has a better body position. It's his right arm that catches Stojanovic. Nothing in that.
Stojanovic down. This injury timeout brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. Booth went down a bit earlier. Sunny day,
Sunscreen on, huh?
Kickoff. Definitely need that. Relatively hot. All things considered for Oakland, kicking off 3 p.m. local time. Gavin Glinton able to bark out some instructions as more treatment is dealt out. How do you feel that Gavin Glinton is going to look at these first 37 minutes for his side?
I think he's going to be frustrated on both sides of the ball. On the attacking sense, it just hasn't been clean enough in terms of the ability to break through the pressure. You want to get Johnny Rodriguez Sinistera a little bit more deeper to give them an angle to play off. But for Mario Rodriguez, I do think this game has been won in the first half, especially centrally. Right, you create a little bit of an overload, but it's also the off-the-ball movement. Watch this run from Stojanovic from outside in. Now that pulls out Logue with him. And now if you are the Oakland Roots, you have to get on a man. The space is never going to score. The man is going to score. So Bibu plays off the shoulder of Owen Dom, and it's a fantastic goal The cutback as an attacking player, how do you create your own space? You pull off Memo Diaz, he doesn't track you, and it's a clinical finish.
Stojanovic back to his feet. The assist he got on that goal, his third of the season. He's getting a little bit of treatment done to make sure that he is okay to continue. Head injury is a big focus. Always a great atmosphere. Special day for Oakland. The one and only appearance of the third kit they've got going on. New look in collaboration with Los Racas. We're back underway. Oakland trying to build up just over 5 minutes until we have stoppage time. May have a little bit of that as well. Diaz gets that one caught under his feet. Tulsa win that challenge, but Riley wins the loose ball. Rasmussen just firing one over the top, one for Rodriguez to chase. His run is rewarded. He keeps that one in play. Scraped down, and it does fall kindly for Yosef. Hello, Yosef. Diallo. Segrist now. Blanchette. Oakland have taken the edge in possession across the match on the day. Lofted forward. Dwyer contesting for it, as was Swahi, who got a good foot to it. Tom Dwyer, always a nightmare for center backs to deal with, just how physical he plays. Out for a throw for Tulsa. Storyline again for Tulsa is very similar to their last road match. Last time out against Rhode Island, it was a goal within 8 minutes for Aaron Bibu. Big sliding challenge going in there. That's going to be a free kick against Tulsa. Sinisterra down, and a bit of discomfort. Segrist looks like he'll escape any extra punishment, but the free kick is given against his side.
He's been really aggressive, stepping off his line, not giving Sinisterra any sort of opportunity to win a 50-50 duel or get his body right in face his attacking goal. As his ball pops out. Does catch the Roots player in the back end of it.
Dwyer again challenging. Swahi again comes away with it.
You can see the frustration from Dom Dwyer, because as the Roots are reluctant to play a little bit more direct and try to finish or win those second duels, there's just no secondary action. That's when you're asking Danny Gomez or Camden Riley to be a little bit more proactive.
Baca into the box. Rodriguez gets ahead to it, but it's tame. Peñaranda able to claim. Bit of words exchange between Dwyer and Peñaranda. Something to watch out for there as we see the cross again.
It's a good ball from Baca, the head up the whole way. And Johnny Rodriguez starts his movement in front of Bourgeois at the back end of it. Tries to climb over him. Easy save for Peñaranda.
Header one. Logue. Big coming together there. Rodriguez was fouled. Referee signaling for the push that led to Rodriguez flying. Just a left hand extended by Bourgeois. It was penalized by the referee. Rasmussen swings it across. Skagi. Here's Sinisterra coming across on the left foot. Dwyer now. What options does he have? Trying to squeeze it through a few in Tulsa colors. Clearance takes a deflection. It will spin actually kindly for the Roots. Yet again they have it into the box. Sinisterra the target. Doesn't fall kindly. Yosef. Slight tug. That threat will end. Danny Gomez. Just a slight tug against Yosef. Small chances for Oakland, but nothing major from this moment.
It's back-to-back actions that Sinister is a little bit too slow to make a decision. First, as he's cutting horizontally across the 18-yard box, just call your number, pull the trigger, see what happens. And as this ball comes back across into him, his first touch lets him down. For a player, we need him to be a little bit more proactive and more opportunistic.
Peñaranda, signed for the club in June, takes that free kick forward. Without a club after leaving the Northern Colorado Hailstorm in 2023. He served as a backup mostly last year. In 2022, he had a good season. That's headed up and away. He made 18 appearances. He had the USL League One save of the year. That's a really ambitious shot from Bibu. It shows off a little bit of skill that he has there to try and dance that one around, puts it over the net of Paul Blanchette.
But as we talk about secondary actions, this ball from Bourgeois gets lofted in. But look at every player in a black jersey. Everyone's ball watching. There's 3 players around Rafael Baca. No one closes down the space. Yes, it doesn't come off to Bibu, but that's been a microcosm of the whole first half. The Oakland Roots are slow to step off their line. They're slow to close down space, and result, they're down a goal here at home.
We enter now 5 minutes of stoppage time, brought to you by KTVU+. Free kick given for the Roots.
Just seems to be a little bit off for the Oakland Roots in terms of the balance, essentially, whether it is Baca, Camden Riley, or Danny Gomez. Both, or all of them, are getting caught a little bit too high or too deep. That pocket presence of Mala Yosef has been causing all sorts of issues. Just look at your screen right there. No one is stepping into him, number 11, in a light color. If he gets the ball in the half turn, now it's a nightmare for the Oakland Roots.
It's like a natural formation challenge, a 3-4-3. You have 3 banks there versus a 3-4-1-2. That Yosef dropping off will cause some problems.
So now that's the responsibility of Baca, especially with his experience. Playing at that single pivot, you just want to stay home and sit right in front. It's a good idea there.
Flipped forward. It's a really good header in the end defensively by Segrist, able to make sure that one doesn't get over his head. Riley. Here is Baca. Experienced midfielder they brought in from Monterey Bay. Actually from Michoacan in Mexico. A great experience. Cruz Azul.
And then just notice the difference for FC Tulsa. Andrew Booth is going and screening over. Now you have Diallo staying as that anchor. It's that give and take kind of relationship that's been fantastic for FC Tulsa, but it's been lacking for the Oakland Roots.
Bourgeois stands over this free kick. Right in front of the FC Tulsa bench. You hear shouts of second ball. It's been a big factor in our match up to this point today. That's a foul going against Bibu. He's frustrated with that, but it's going to be a yellow card. Our first of the match given out. It goes the way of Aaron Bibu, the goal scorer. Just going in a little too strong on that challenge. There will need to be some attention for Logue. See it again here.
And they were having some words earlier in this half. I think it's the extension of his left arm that catches Logue. Seems to be a little bit of contact, but when your left arm is that high and away from your body, you run the risk, and that's what gets him in trouble.
Injury timeout brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. Logue back, sat up. Looked like it was, as you mentioned, Ricky, that arm from Bibu that got him in trouble. He has the goal. He has the first yellow of the match. A lot of firsts for him in our match this afternoon. They will hope that he can continue to be a really important component for the side. He scored 3 goals now. He scored in his first start. That was against Detroit City, a side that he was loaned to previously, not this year, years past, from LA Galaxy. Ventura County last year at the next pro level, he had 14 goals, 5 assists. Really helped carry the goal scoring load for the second team for LA Galaxy. This year he's got 10 goals. Played forward, claimed by Peñaranda.
Inside, Aaron, inside. Get off the sideline, Aaron. Get off the sideline. One of you.
Fighting for that.
Say hi, Lexi, he's off.
Falls to Rasmussen. This clearance sliced. On a Tulsa side of things, Ricky, considering how last match went, you took a 1-0 lead early on. You went into halftime with that lead. Second half went away from you. Is there anything you would do differently, do the same in the second 45 minutes to have a better chance of securing the result this time around?
I think Mario Sanchez is going to have that Rhode Island match in the back of his mind. So now, yes, you want to go and search that second goal, but you have to have the right amount of balance. You don't not want to overextend yourself, because yet the Oakland Roots in their recent form have been struggling to find the back of the net. They still have talent. Right, if you give Dom Dwyer, Johnny Rodriguez the opportunity to pick up their head, they can make a play. So maybe you have to have that second, that risk versus reward, especially if you are Owen Dom or Harvey St. Clair, at picking and choosing your times when to join the attack. Defending is going to be a top priority in this next 45 for FC Tulsa.
Shot sliced over the bar as we enter the final seconds of our first half.
How much more? 20 seconds.
That will do it for our first 45 minutes. An early goal from Aaron Bibu after a little bit of chaos there. It is the end of our first half. Aaron Bibu, a goal within 8 minutes, separates the two sides. A second goal in as many matches for Bibu as Tulsa try and pull themselves closer to the playoff line in the Western Conference. A lot of changes potentially to be made by the Roots, who at home want to get some things for that home crowd to cheer about. Some halftime content to come. A fantastic finish from Aaron Bibu separates the sides as we enter into halftime. Some more content to come as the score at the break. It's the Oakland Roots 0, FC Tulsa 1.
Oakland Roots Sports Club is back, and it's never been easier to get in the game. Season membership packages and single tickets start at just $25. Join us now at oaklandrootssc.com.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It's your job to stock the city, restaurants and rooftops, bars and basements. Every corner store. And when it gets tough, you stay driven. Give it all you got, going nonstop for 20 stops. Because at the end of the day, every single round is on you. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't many adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why, from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Do you like getting cash back on your credit card? A free coffee when you fill your cafe's punch card? A complimentary dessert with your restaurant order? Then you'll like getting a 5% discount on your electricity with Ava Community Energy's Bright Choice service. Visit avaenergy.org to learn more about Ava's low rates for electricity.
Oakland Roots Sports Club is back, and it's never been easier to get in the game. Season membership packages and single tickets start at just $25. Join us now at oaklandrootssc.com.
Back at Pioneer Stadium, our score at the break, it's Oakland 0, Tulsa 1, courtesy of a goal from Aaron Bibu. We can look back yesterday. It's a great way to kick off our Sunday in the USL Championship. It was a very busy Saturday. Kicked off with El Paso taking the 3 points against North Carolina. Still a little bit of a beating heart for El Paso to qualify for the playoffs. few interesting draws, including in Colorado Springs in the 97th minute. Khalil El-Medkar, assisted by goalkeeper Hugo Faru, got the points there. Anything stand out to you, Ricky?
I think you look at this Pittsburgh Riverhound side against Birmingham Legion. They drop points. Bob Lilly's side does not have that luxury. And it's a massive win for Danny Dicchio in Detroit City, going into a struggling Monterey Bay, a side that hasn't scored in about 600 minutes. But Danny Dicchio and that Detroit City side, you look at them, how important a home playoff game will be at Keyworth. Massive 3 points for the Eastern Conference side.
Those out-of-town scores brought to you by Visit Oakland. Now we go to the Western Conference standings. This is entering the day, so you can see the importance for Tulsa. 4 points off if this result holds. Same matches played, just 1 point off Oakland, or Orange County rather.
And New Mexico will play against Sacramento Republic later tonight, so that's a massive game for Mark Briggs, who's kind of slipped down this Western Conference at number 4 now. New Mexico and Eric Quill all but locked up at number 1, but you look how tight it is around that 8 and 9 mark. How do you get in form if you're FC Tulsa? And Mario Sanchez, job is not done, but big 45 coming up for FC Tulsa.
On the flip side for the Eastern Conference, no implications in the match here today, but you can see how tight it is there as well. That playoff line, Loudoun and Hartford, that 1 point for Loudoun is huge.
Yeah, that 1 point for against the switchbacks was massive for Ryan Martin. Hartford Athletic were supposed to play against Santa Fe Rowdies due to weather and the hurricane. That game got suspended, so now Brendan Brook and company, you can look around the league, get a little bit more rested, and hopefully pick up maximum points as we're on the back end of the season.
We're wrapping up September. The final month of the regular season comes in October. The playoffs soon around the corner. Another break on the other side. More halftime content to come. Oakland 0, Tulsa 1.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
New flavors. The same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked Bebidas.
Recentra bien el balón dentro del área. ¡Hombre, ese es el segundo! La combinación es buena. Se canta el 1-1. ¡Te lo canto! ¡No te puedo creer! Increíble, Felipe. Y señoras y señores, la USL Championship.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't mini adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Halftime between Oakland and Tulsa. Tulsa holding a 1-0 lead courtesy of an early goal in our match this afternoon. More content across the USL Championship as we continue to get closer and closer to the playoffs. Nick Markanek He's going to continue to set this record more and more as the season comes to a close. 27 goals now after getting the brace against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Coming up later tonight on ESPN2, it's going to be Sacramento Republic hosting New Mexico United. A really interesting top-of-the-table clash in the Western Conference. And Las Vegas in a great spot to qualify for the playoffs for the first time in club history, completing that season sweep of Sacramento, who want to try and erase that memory in the game later here tonight. We can flash back to some of the big moments from last week with our goal and save of the week.
Mateus collects. Mateus goes for goal and scores! A moment of magic for Darwin Mateus in his Birmingham debut.
At North Texas, as Daniel Bruce connects with hers. What a save from Farou! The Frenchman stands tall.
And now our team of the week from week 29, headlined by Eric Quill of New Mexico United, Nick Marcanic with those 2 goals, setting the records there. Up front, Noah Fuson scoring that equalizer against FC Tulsa for Rhode Island, finds his way into that after a come-from-behind win at home over the side. Also in between the pipes, Chris Shakes coming in for New Mexico United, getting a first professional clean sheet. Important moment for him there as well. Sean Tosh in that back line for Lou City as they continue to rack up an impressively successful season up to this point. Chris Allen as well in the midfield for the Charleston Battery. Papa Mardoy as well for Phoenix Rising, with Greg Hurst as well anchoring the front line for the team of the week. Could Aaron Bibu find his way into the team of the week based on his goal in that first half for FC Tulsa? We shall see. We'll also see the final 45 minutes of our match here today between the Roots and FC Tulsa. Some work to do for the home side to impress those fans who have come out. It's going to be a good one. One more break, and we've got it for you, the Roots and Tulsa.
Oakland Roots Sports Club is back, and it's never been easier to get in the game. Season membership packages and single tickets start at just $25. Join us now at oaklandrootssc.com.
The only way to win is to do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots have teamed up. We are leading the charge to address food insecurity, empowering all athletes to improve physical health, and expanding the health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
Do you like getting cash back on your credit card? A free coffee when you fill your cafe's punch card? A complimentary dessert with your restaurant order? Then you'll like getting a 5% discount on your electricity with Ava Community Energy's Bright Choice service. Visit avaenergy.org to learn more about Ava's low rates for electricity.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. This isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. You find diamonds in the rust to put your own stamp on stock parts, turning metal into murals and detailing every detail. Because it's the things you make that show what you're made of. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Oakland Roots Sports Club is back, and it's never been easier to get in the game. Season membership packages and single tickets start at just $25. Join us now at oaklandrootssc.com.
Tonight's broadcast of the Oakland Roots SC taking on FC Tulsa is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Modelo. Jack Edwards and Ricky Lopez-Espin here with you in the broadcast booth. Our first half highlights between Oakland and FC Tulsa. The 8th minute, the opening goal of the match. A nice move here to play it in behind. Stojanovic able to drag this one across, finds Aaron Bibu, who finds the back of the net.
You have more numbers high up the field, so you cause a little bit of chaos, but the run from Owen Dobb is fantastic. As he slashes across that near post, that pulls out Gagi and Logs. That opens up the secondary action for Bibu, makes no mistake about the finish. FC Tulsa take the early lead.
14th minute, we jump now to a chance for the Oakland Roots. Dom Dwyer's free kick just wide, not a ton of chances.
And now creating through the runner play, so set pieces were always going to be important for the Oakland Roots. Just pulls it a little bit wide of that near post, but going back the other way, Milo Yosef tries to catch Paul Blanchett cheating. There's a little bit of spillage, but does quite well to recover from his mistake, and that's how we walk into halftime.
Here are the halftime stats after our first 45 minutes. Tulsa hold the shot advantage, Oakland the possession advantage after that first half.
I think now for Gavin Glinton, yes, you have more of the ball, but now what do you do with the ball? You want a possession with purpose, especially in that final third. More combination play, more fluidity, and more players taking chances to express themselves. It's been very predictable, whether it's route one, whether it's trying to play in between the lines. Gavin Glinton, really important halftime talk. As for FC Tulsa and Mario Sanchez, if you can get that second goal, you put this game to bed. But the way that you do it is going to be everything. The approach and the balance. You do not want to overextend yourself and leave yourself vulnerable. How do you learn last time out against Rhode Island, where you dropped a big 3 points as well?
Those are your halftime stats. And Yoranda warming back up, moments away from our second 45 minutes between these two sides. Tulsa trying to drag themselves back into the playoff spots. The Roots trying to just reestablish themselves in the West. We can look at the upcoming games as well for the Oakland Roots to see how they round out the year, presented by Visit Oakland. It's a challenging one at Memphis, against Phoenix, at Vegas, and against Birmingham to round out the year.
You look at this Oakland Roots side, Las Vegas Lions, they're not an easy out. At Memphis, they've been fantastic. Stephen Glass at home, and then you're welcoming Phoenix Rising. Never an easy game when you're playing against the reigning champion, and then Birmingham Legion. So if you're Gavin Glinton, it starts with this next 45 minutes to try to call yourself back into and hopefully get some momentum as you approach the last four.
You look at, for the Roots, a big focus for them was, hey, can we host a game in that first round of the playoffs? Now with this run of form they've been going in, it's let's make sure we don't slip all the way out. The importance of this head-to-head, Tulsa are the side that would be knocking anybody out in 9th place. They're going up to 34 points as things stand, would be just 6 points off Oakland. So they still have a very healthy cushion ahead of anybody being able to bump them out of the playoffs. But there are still 4 games left, and as you mentioned, Ricky, some tough games ahead for Oakland. Looking at some trends based on trailing versus leading at halftime. The Roots have failed to score a first half goal in 20 of their 30 games in the USL Championship so far this season. Been a second half side in a lot of these instances. When trailing at the half, they've won just 1 of the 12 instances that has happened. On the flip side though, Tulsa, a record of 3 wins, 4 draws, and 1 defeat when leading at halftime. That 1 defeat was last week against Rhode Island. The sides will flip sides of the field. The Roots and the All Blacks will head from left to right. Heading the other way are the visitors, Tulsa, in their light kits, heading from right to left. Jack Edwards and Ricky Lopez-Espen here with you as that one rolls out of play for an early throw-in for Tulsa in our second 45 minutes. Tulsa, a big half in the context of their season. Can they avenge an earlier season loss against Oakland, one that Mario Sanchez said was very frustrating for his side? Gomez trying to slide it to Dwyer, unable for that pass to come off. Out of play. No subs made by either side after that first 45 minutes. Do you agree with that choice for Gavin Glinton in particular, and Oakland making no tweaks personnel-wise?
Personnel-wise, don't really have a problem with it, but tactically, I do think you need a pocket presence underneath Dom Dwyer, whether it is Danny Gomez or Johnny Rodriguez, to be part of the build-out phase. But it, again, been mostly one-way traffic for FC Tulsa, especially winning that midfield battle, which has been everything.
Bibu, a strong challenge to take over on that instance. Dom trying to carry it forward, but loses it back out to Oakland. Sinistera back. Here's Gagi. Given some time to probe this one forward. Plays it up. Rodriguez trying to hold it off. Falls now for Booth. Booth over the top. Flag goes up. It was a well-weighted pass for Stojanovic. But in the end, offsides. Just too early a run made by the forward. Oakland trying to curb a run of 3 successive defeats. Tulsa winless in 5. Both of these teams knew maybe there was some ground to be gained based on this head-to-head matchup against their opponent. Dropped over the top. Player going down off the ball. Bibu gets there. Not many players alongside him in support, but he carries it centrally. Yosef moves it along to the far side. St. Clair, he was heavily involved in the early stages of that first half. This time around, he's forced back by Rasmussen. Gomez. Here's Baca. A few runners in support, including Diaz, near side of your screen. Riley is the short option. There's a few players on the back line to aim for. Riley. Sinistera drags that one to find Riley. He whips it into the box first time. Chested down by Dwyer. To keep that in play. Referee says, no, he did not. Went out of play before it went out for a corner. Dwyer very confidently throwing that one towards the corner flag. Does not change the referee's mind.
There's a moment when this ball pops out to Memo Diaz, Dom Dwyer, Johnny Rodriguez make this same run. Trying to run down into the channel. As you play with two strikers high up the field, you have to play one off of one another. One has to come to feet, and then the other one needs to provide that depth in behind. Much like FC Tulsa scores their goal, how do you work together as a double striking pair?
On the turn, Rasmussen, that's a big challenge. It's a free kick going against St. Clair. Referee signaling back where the free kick took place. Five in black kits along the edge of the 18-yard box. Both Diaz and Rasmussen can weigh up this delivery. It's Rasmussen who just cuts it across to Baca. Baca, his service into the box. Offside flag goes up.
Just lack of discipline from Logue. It's a well-worked set piece to change the angle, trying to catch FC Tulsa sleeping. But Logue needs to be better at holding off his run to keep himself onside.
Peñaranda and the Tulsa defense in search of the 7th clean sheet. Maybe the 7th for Peñaranda to be specific. Top to Blanchette. Riley again dropping deeper, almost as another center back, to a more typical 3-4-3 formation that we've seen in recent weeks from Oakland. Sinistera. Some step overs, two surround him. He's clipped it into the box. No one there to attack it. Riley down. That one was allowed to roll a little bit too much by Tulsa, and actually offsides Dwyer coming from an offside position. Spares Tulsa their blushes, and it's a free kick. Tulsa, 5 matches still to go on the season. Coming up next against El Paso, bottom side in the West. You imagine those were some big points they could gain there. North Carolina also outside the playoff picture in the East before a match against New Mexico United, top of the West, of course. Rounded out with matches against Hartford, Monterey Bay. So competitive matches down the stretch for Tulsa. Points to be gained. They're definitely not out of the playoff picture in the West at all. You compare the playoff complexions of the East and the West. The East is a really tight race. Yosef thought about that one from distance, and the shot goes over the bar. Tulsa take the points in this match. They bring themselves into a real discussion as a side outside the playoffs currently to really try and shake up the current top 8. Orange County occupying that 8th spot right now. out of play. Last touching Bourgeois. Dwyer. Dragging Swahi out of his position. He wants a handball. Referee says to keep playing on. Joseph cushions it.
Just notice every time that Dom Dwyer gets the ball, there's not one single player in a black jersey to come to support him. It's 1 versus 4, but as this ball pops out, just watch the left arm of Swahi. It does touch his hand. It should be a handball and a free kick for the Oakland Roots. Thomas Schneider doesn't see it. Do think FC Tulsa get away with one.
Not necessarily intentional there, but it almost rolls up and sits on his hand for a moment there. Definitely impacted the play. Dom Dwyer, his frustrations compounding.
Just want Dom Dwyer and Johnny Rodriguez to be a little bit more connected, to play off of each other as well. And I talked about it earlier in the first half, Jack, that it's just been too predictable for the Oakland Roots. Yes, you can play into your target man, but now what does the secondary movement look like? Whether someone coming in for the bounce pass or someone just running in behind. It's been Route 1, and now it's just a 50-50 duel. And more times often than not, FC Tulsa has won that battle.
Free kick going the way of the Roots. What do they have to do with this set piece? They're putting numbers forward. They've gone short with several of these they've had from quite a ways away. Memo Diaz, Rafael Baca both standing over it. Lofted to the back post. Finds the head of Rasmussen. Logue cushions it down with a touch. That's Rasmussen rather. His cross out of play. It's a goal kick to come. Just the 3 shots for the Roots in the match up to this point. Sinistera.
Just looking at the bench for the Oakland Roots, who can come on and impact this game in a positive manner? You have Mich Schneider, Sherry, Trayvon Reed, Donaciano, and then Jael players on the attacking phase of the game. But how do you do that? And at what time do you do it for Gavin Glinton? Really important and really interesting part of the game for the manager for the Oakland Roots.
Still no changes made by either side after an offside goes against Johnny Rodriguez. 3 goals in their last 6 games for the Roots. Stojanovic plays it to Bibu. Sinistera trying to flick it on. Memo Diaz wins the loose one. Plays it across to Rasmussen. Rodriguez making a run forward. He's going to be targeted by this ball forward. Bidois goes down, and that's going to be a free kick. Johnny Rodriguez whistled for that one. It was a tussle that was going on for almost the halfway line in the end. Bidois rather just able to get across him.
It's fantastic defending and recognition from Bourgeois. As his ball comes centrally, Johnny Rodriguez just takes off, so he knows his space is in beyond. Now you combine that with the strength as well. Yes, he makes the most of it, but it's really clever from the defender. I feel for Johnny Rodriguez because there's not a lot of contact in that, but Thomas Schneider has a really difficult angle to see it from about 60 yards. So that's just experience and clever from the defender.
For Bourgeois, he knows that he's making the referee make a decision there. Either no call or he's making the call, and especially with no VAR, a defender goes down under the challenge from a forward. It's always going to lean a little bit in the defender's favor. Very experienced move there from Bourgeois. It's a free kick this time. It is a foul by the defense. This time Oakland and Logue committing the foul. As a former attacker yourself, did you feel like the fouls would go against you more than they went in your favor in those situations?
Well, in that situation, right, the most important thing is to get the body position right? To get between you, your individual marker, and the ball. And then if you go down, the referee more times often than not, they're going to call a foul. Yeah. That's exactly what Bourgeois did.
Here's Joseph. Free kick. Dangerous delivery. Oh, it's flicked backwards. It's up for Bibu. His shot blocked. It's a big looping deflection. There's a head issue in the box. Logue is down, holding his head, and he needs a bit of treatment as that one's cleared away. Andrew Booth was the player able to attack it in the box, but it may have almost hit the back of his head before it went to Bibu.
Just watch the right arm of Diallo. I think it comes and catches Logue. Unintentional. But Logue just turns right into the shoulder area of Diallo.
This injury timeout brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. You saw Diallo embrace with Logue a moment ago. We'll see it again there. Ooh, yeah, definitely an uncomfortable one. Sub taking place for the Roots. So we have this injury pause for Logue. Gavin Glinton preparing to bring in Trayvon Reed. Some fans enjoying the action here in the USL Championship on this particular Sunday. Appreciate you joining us here on CBS Sports Golazo.
He's wearing sweatpants in this heat.
Oh, built different.
Built different for sure.
Gavin Glinton. Opportunity in the opening stages. This second half, rather, able to get out some instructions. Now Logue still down. Logue being helped back to his feet. Make his way off the field. Looks to be maybe an issue with the nose of Logue. We'll see if he's able to return to the match or if they opt to make a tweak. Maybe a blow if they lose the services of Niall Logue. You can see Trayvon Reed preparing to come on, but the services of the Jamaican forward are more attacking areas of the game rather than like for like with Logue, one of the two center backs. Referee has dropped play in, and Blanchette can pick the ball back up. Logue again still off the field right now, so down to 10 are the Roots. Blanchette launches us back underway. That's a foul going against Sinisterra. Trayvon Reed is still preparing to come into the match. Reed as well as Irakoze Donaciano are both preparing to come into the match. Niall Logue will make way. It's enough for the day for him after a collision in the box. Jose Luis Sinisterra also makes way, coming on in his place. Trayvon Reed, 2 goals and an assist in the year for the Jamaican forward. We'll hope that he can try and have an impact on things. Irakoze Donaciano on now for his 22nd appearance of the season.
Now he'll play as the number 10 underneath Johnny Rodriguez and Dom Dwyer. More dynamic player, box to box, will make those runs in behind. Danny Gomez will drop in right next to Rafael Baca. Camden Riley pop onto that back line as well. Just not on the same page that we've seen for this Oakland Roots side.
Rasmussen. one's flicked on. Aaron Bibu in an offside position. Referee will whistle for a free kick. Doesn't want players chasing for that one. As mentioned, Ricky Camden Riley sliding back into that center back role. Hard to make a like-for-like change. No Nabil Hackshaw on the side as well, a player that can impact things in multiple phases of the game for the Roots. Midfield for Tulsa also impacted by injury. Edwin Lasso got hurt against Rhode Island last time out, unavailable for the match today. Bibu gets ahead to it. Dom trying to get on it as well, but it's played back.
That was a massive talking point on our phone call with Mario Sanchez. How do you replace Lazo? Because his range, not only on the ball, but off the ball, the ability to cover ground, can play as that single pivot. So now you have more of the freedom to play with two dual 10s. He goes out, so now you have to split the difference between Andrew Booth and Diallo. And they've done quite well through 63 minutes. I think their positioning has been fantastic, comfortable on the ball, the balance at understanding when to go, when to stay, taking the game away from the Oakland Roots.
It's a good point you make with a player like Lasso, who not offering the services of two players by himself, but playing that single pivot, just the one player there, lets you commit more numbers further forward. Booth and Diallo have looked quite strong, but that shape change, forcing tweaks from Tulsa. They've responded well. They have the 1-0 lead. They did last week as well. That's a foul from behind. Bradley Bourgeois. Let his opponent know that he is there. Knocks down Reed. Special day for Oakland, wearing their third kit just for this match and this match only on Conoce Tus Raíces night. Oakland always some of the best kits in the USL Championship and professional sports. Continuing to enhance their connection to the community. Reed felt that one went out off his opponent last, as did Dom Dwyer. Referee signals for a goal kick. Well, the community investment round is back. You can become a part owner of Oakland Roots and Seoul SC now by heading to wefunder.com/Oakland. Fans 18 and up can join the ownership group for as little as $100 today. Oakland continuing their involvement with the community, with the Oakland Coliseum opening up with the final game played by the Oakland Athletics on Thursday. They'll begin their season in 2025. A lot of capacity there potentially. They continue to try and work the community a chance to maybe break a USL Championship attendance record. That sits in the 30,000s range. Coliseum can seat well more than that. Pushed along. Diaz sliding in there. He gets a foot in. Bibu does as well. Diaz and Oakland with the throw. Baca. Gomez.
Especially when you're playing against a back line of 5 that the FC Tulsa is trying to be in structure when they don't have the ball. The ball needs to move quick from side to side. So starting on one side of the field, ending on the other is going to be a way that you can break this mid to low block for the Oakland Roots. So especially for players, essentially, when you receive the ball, your hips have to be open already. First touch sets up the ability to play with the second touch. Trayvon Reed, Memo Diaz, Rasmussen, all wide players are going to be at the outlet.
Gagi gets ahead to that. challenge there. That one, Bibu feeling a little bit of discomfort after colliding with Camden Riley. Results in a free kick. 2 changes have been made by the Roots, and it's Dunaciano and Reed. No changes yet made by Tulsa. Really important returner is Arthur Rogers on the bench, not able to be fit for a match to start. We're getting him back. He missed mid-April all the way until mid-September. He returned off the bench about half an hour last time out against Rhode Island. It slid forward. Stojanovic holding off the advances of his opponent, but loses out, concedes the throw. Rogers an option on the bench. We'll see if Mario Sanchez calls on the London native, coming off of a fantastic pair of seasons with the Northern Colorado Hailstorm in the USL League One. He was the League One Defender of the Year in 2022, set the assists record in 2023, a very versatile option. We'll see if in a match like this, where he's still developing his match fitness, he's tossed into an environment like this. Flicked along, here's Riley. Rasmussen swings it along. Diaz brings it down into the 18, rolls it off. Rodriguez first time, brave block, out for a throw.
I think that's when Johnny Rodriguez is at his best, when he's arriving late into the 18-yard box and already has the ability to face the goal. A player that can create for himself but can also bring players into this game, him and Memo Diaz.
Diaz firing that one in. Headed up and away. It's going to be a corner now for Oakland. Memo Diaz central to some of these advances.
Have a fantastic relationship between the two of them. Memo Diaz 7 assists on the season. You always expect quality in terms of his service. Big opportunity here for the Roots.
Pushing and shoving, and again around the goalkeeper, causing the referee to pause play. Thomas Snyder taking an attention there. Dom Dwyer, always central to things, making himself a nuisance. Both to Diallo and Peñaranda. Memo Diaz. He's caused chaos in these last few moments. Again, Dwyer and Diallo. They'll keep fighting in that box as Diaz puts it into the area. Big deflection. That one in the end is going to be a foul. Dwyer going up for that. Fouls Peñaranda. May have gone over the bar as well. Defenders for Tulsa take exception to their goalkeeper being fouled.
That was a handful. Dom Dwyer. To be fair, he has the right to go for this ball. It's a 50-50 ball, but there is a little bit of the left arm that gets him maybe in trouble, that catches Peñaranda. You mentioned it earlier, Jack, those two players exchanging words early in the first half. So there's always going to be a nice little battle.
Subs being prepped for Tulsa. They have 20 minutes trying to see out a result. Just 3 times in the 8 matches they've led at halftime, they have seen the match out for 3 points. Gomez almost stands on that one and loses out. Reed pushes it along, a foot race. It just about wins. Throws Bourgeois out, steps past another, finds Baca. He slides in the box for Dwyer. From distance, Baca, it's blocked. Bibu juggles that one up into a clearance. Stojanovic, very good work to get in there, win that one, and win the free kick. The subs will happen now. Diego Pacheco and Faisal Batash will both come into the game, making way. Milo Yosef, as well as Aaron Bibu. Bibu, the goal scorer in our match this afternoon. Back-to-back matches with a goal. Loney makes way. Coming on, Pacheco, and another Loney, another transfer, Batash, acquired back in July from Tacoma Defiance, bringing him in from the next pro level. 7 goals and 17 appearances. He's looking for his first for his new side. Pacheco coming in with 4 goals and 3 assists for the Portuguese forward. Slight bump in the back. Reed steps on that one, falls over. Rolled centrally. Batash. Pacheco. Badash. It's cleared away. Dwyer fighting for that one. Drags away from one challenge. There was enough pushing and shoving. There's a push after the fact, and that's going to result in a yellow card for Dom Dwyer. He wins the free kick, but finds himself in the referee's pocket.
Does all the hard work, Dom Dwyer. He's playing in a nutshell, very physical, good hold-up number 9, waiting for players to come around him just a bit too long. And then as he pushes Sawah, he knows exactly what Sawahi's doing. Baiting him, he goes down. He gets Dom Dwyer, yellow card, frustration coming out from the striker.
Cut this off, Diogo, cut this off.
Header won by Segrist. Rasmussen. Reed. Centrally for Dwyer again, trying to hold play up. Loses out this time. He's on a yellow card now. Has to be careful with these challenges. Pacheco gets past one challenge. Gagi brings him down. Another yellow card in quick succession. Marvelashvili booked for that foul. Pacheco skipping past.
But it starts yet again with Dom Dwyer. As he does well to hold up, there's just no support for him just to lay the ball back. And a result of it going back the other way, Pacheco, we've seen how dynamic he's been in this 2024 season. Pace, verticality, big long touch around Gagi. Now he gets caught, squared up, sees himself into the book.
Into the box. Clipped up, blocked. Out for a corner to come. Another set piece to come for Tulsa as Oakland prepare to bring in Babakar Njai as well as Ali El Masnawi. Those subs will take place likely after this corner kick. So Batash with the corner kick, dangerous delivery, headed away. Batash again puts it into the mixer. This one claimed by Blanchette. Blanchette, slight tug in the box, and that's going to result in Pacheco entering the referee's pocket. A bit of a needless yellow card to pick up. Blanchette trying to take that one quickly, brought down by Pacheco. And that free kick will offer the chance for Njai and El Masnawi to come into the game. We'll see again, though, a slight tug. Blanchette goes down. Pacheco booked. El Masnawi coming in for Danny Gomez. Dom Dwyer making way as well. Goal scorer like him will never want to come off in a match where they're trailing. Babakar Njai, who has 2 goals and 3 assists on the season so far, comes into the game.
I think it's man managing from Gavin Clinton, understanding that Dom Dwyer has been in a couple of heated exchanges. One in this game with 11 players on the field. So now Johnny Rodriguez, where I do think he's probably a little bit more comfortable being the single focal point, will slot centrally. Reed and Njai will be on either flank. of the 10-goal striker.
That one's nodded back to Peñaranda. Don't miss out on the final home stretch of games as we close out the season on a playoff push. You pick up one of the discounted ticket packages, whether you want food and beverage included for one game, or looking to go to multiple games. Secure your tickets now and visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. Here is Rodriguez. Clipped from behind. That's a bit of a tough foul going against him, and the yellow cards beginning to flow. This one going against Owen Dom. Another relatively obvious card to give out after Dom brought down Rodriguez, who was dribbling towards goal.
Just so comfortable in tight spaces, Johnny Rodriguez. Great first touch. Now he has the ability to change direction with the second touch. Gets there right before Dom. A bit slow in terms of his recovery run. Now if you're Memo Diaz or Enja, you're aiming for right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark, where this ball needs to be placed to cause a little bit of chaos and test the decision-making of Peñaranda.
Dom booked. Memo Diaz stands over this.
Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you.
Oakland in need of an equalizer, in need of a jolt. Diaz serves one into the box. Flails, doesn't get to it. Oh, Peñaranda left off a little bit there. It's headed out of play. He got away with one there. Peñaranda went for it, flailed. He's down in a bit of discomfort. Didn't get that.
Just mentioned that decision-making for the goalkeeper is everything. If you do elect to come off your line, you have to make a play on the ball. Misreads it completely. An awkward fall. What a big opportunity that could have been for the Oakland Roots to tie this thing in the 80th minute.
Stefan Stojanovic will make way now. Alex Delou coming into things. Third change made now by Tulsa. 2 more still in the pocket of Mario Sanchez. Should he want to bring in Arthur Rogers, Rashid Teta, or Sebastian Sanchez. Also Michael Creek is the backup goalkeeper. The 4 remaining subs available for Tulsa. 1 sub left in the back pocket of Gavin Glinton. Rasmussen trying to creep that one forward for El Mesnawi. Reed. Diaz moves it along. Njai. Good work to bounce that up, get his head to it, push it along. Njai. Centrally now. Reed, far side. Rasmussen, his delivery poor by his standards. Batash clearing it high, not fully away. Pacheco challenges. Donaciano as well. Batash juggling, passes that one out of play. Gavin Glinton quickly helping his side recycle this one. Njai.
Athletic ability from Gavin Glinton there.
Good handwork as well.
Yeah, good change of pace. Can you do that?
Me? No.
I've seen you pick up.
Some people say I'm fast.
Gavin Glinton fast?
Oh, no, not at all. I ran track in high school. That was about the peak of my athletic career. Lofted forward, headed down. Here's El Mesnawi. Rolls that one off, only finds Batash. Got his pass all wrong there. Diallo. His pass arcs out of play to throw in. Can break this down again. Great work from Gavin Glinton to get to this one.
Between the legs,
really
too.
Good.
Nice little crossover. Dual sport athlete Gavin Glinton.
It's all about not wasting time with an extra touch. You know? It's like a slingshot. Out of play, another throw in for the Roots. This one too far away for Gavin Glinton to try and rope in as well. Here's Rodriguez. That's a great turn to slide past two, trying to find it forward. Njai, the flag goes up. That's a frustrating one for Oakland. Many of their promising attacking moves have been ended by the flag of the assistant referee on the near side. Njai just a little too soon on his run. Less than 10 minutes to go. 7-7 in terms of shots. There's been some solid chances based on the expected goals number, 0.85 for Oakland to 0.54 for Tulsa. But of course, the actual goal heading the way of the visitors. Diallo, he keeps it in play but loses out. Baca moves it along to Njai, who's been lively since coming into the match. He's got runners alongside him. Skips past one. Those runners still going up to the left-hand side from distance. Njai, always an uphill battle for that one to test Peñaranda, who makes the save. And after the press from Rodriguez will pick it up.
Just gets a little bit excited. Njai does all the hard work. And now you have two options. As you continue to run, number one thing that you need to do is let an FC Tulsa side or a player engage, and that's when you can play and make your decision. It's an easy save in the end, straight up in the Peñaranda.
Flipped along, Pacheco. That's a great first touch to make it a contest, but Deleu not able to get there before Blanchette falls on it. Aaron Bibu, 7 minutes into the game, separating the scoring. Long ball forward. Njai challenging, it's a sprint for that one. Rodriguez bumped off of it. Loses out to Dom. It's a tough fall for Diaz, can't quite get to it. Now it's Booth in a pocket of space. That's gonna be a free kick. Trayvon Reed, a step slow against Andrew Booth. Booth work through his pain there. He'll be in absolutely no rush to get back up to on his feet.
He's been fantastic in the middle of the park, Andrew Booth, him and Diallo, and it's a tough challenge from Trayvon Reed as he lunges in.
Baca loses out. Donaciano. Rasmussen. Out of play. Oh, that's a great tackle. Actually, almost sit on that one from St. Clair. Assumed it had to have gone out of play, but a really nicely executed slide tackle. Baca. Diaz put under some pressure. Dom sprinting forward. Here's Blanchette. First time. Njai. How much settled possession in these last few moments. That's going to be a free kick. Tulsa more time to kill. Just good use of the body there by Deleu. For Oakland, 3 matches without a goal. Now this match where it's been a struggle to create much. How much does confidence begin to seep in when you've gone a little bit of a streak now without getting back to the net?
I think it's massive. I mean, now the responsibility lies on not only Gavin Glinton, the head coach, but the experienced players as well. You're looking at Rafael Baca. Yes, he's new into that locker room as Swahi's going to get into the book for time wasting.
He's saying, why is it me? You know, he's just letting the free kick be there. But Swahi is booked. Swahi, Bibu, Dom, Pacheco, all on yellows for Tulsa. Gagi Marvelashvili, as well as Dom Dwyer on yellows for Oakland.
Just going back to our conversation about the confidence for the Oakland Roots. I mean, you could throw Hackshaw in there as well. Yes, he doesn't feature in this game here today, but he's a massive part, not only on the field, but the locker room. So, right, you have 2 options. If you are the Oakland Roots, you can galvanize and come together. 4 games remaining, to keep your playoff hopes alive, to continue to push up this Western Conference. That's not going to be easy. It only takes one goal to get everything back on track, because the talent is there for the Oakland Roots. You've had so much success in 2024, but as of late, just not falling your own way. How do you deal with that adversity? That's going to be really interesting.
Here's Rodriguez, first time parried away. Back to Johnny Rodriguez. Few options with him. Oh, the header down from El Masnaoui. Unable to put that one towards goal, but not a ton of options with Rodriguez.
We talked about Johnny Rodriguez being that single focal point off the line. I think that's where he's most comfortable. And what I love about Johnny Rodriguez, how intentional and instinctual he is. Doesn't allow this ball to take a second bounce, hits it off the line to try to catch Benaran cheating. In the end, it's a good save for the goalkeeper for FC Tulsa.
2 minutes plus stoppage time. Acrobatic clearance forward. Tulsa and DeLu driving this one forward, goes down at the top of the box. He pounds the ground in frustration. He felt he was surely fouled. Referee does not opt for anything there. DeLu skipped past Memo Diaz. Back to Reed. Long ball forward, overhit. Be a throw for Tulsa. Rasmussen waiting to offer it to somebody. Frustration for Oakland. They haven't had a great chance in this match to write home about. Tulsa, they don't want to make it back-to-back games where they lose points very late on. The 92nd minute that Albert Dequa scored to take away the point they thought they had earned at Rhode Island. They still have their clean sheet as we enter the 90th minute. Players down. Almost now he moves it along. Oakland. Shot into the box, takes a deflection along. Heart and mouth moment for FC Tulsa. It's out now for a corner.
It's a good idea from Trayvon Reed to come onto his preferred right foot and just to put this thing into the mixer, cause a little bit of chaos. But give credit to Patrick Seacrest. I think he's been fantastic as the left back for FC Tulsa. Aggressive off his line, comfortable on the ball. Last ditch as we see Cherie coming on for Baca.
Rafael Baca makes way, his second consecutive start since joining. They hope that the 35-year-old midfielder can offer some solidity in the center of the park. We take now into 7 minutes of KTVU plus stoppage time. And we started with the corner for the Roots. Oh, it's poor and it doesn't beat the first man. It's cleared high. Nodded down, Bitash. They're stretched. Can Tulsa seal the points? DeLu gets on the end of this, clips it back across. Pacheco. It's cleared away. Just about enough done defensively by Oakland there.
What an opportunity this could have been for Mario Sanchez to put this game to bed. It's a transitional moment between Batash and DeLu. Keep going. Keep going at Donaciano. Make him make a decision. When he steps off his line, that's when you play it in. And if you're Pacheco, you have 4 goals on the season. Call your own number. You put the ball on your preferred left foot. Why not have a strike towards that far post? You try to overcomplicate things. And now you still give the Oakland Roots a little bit of life here.
Throw in for the Roots. Cherie, his first contribution since coming on is hassling Boubacar Diallo. Cherie continues to make life difficult for Tulsa in their build. Flicked along. Batash has a few options with him. Corner flag also becoming a tantalizing prospect as Booth lets it run in the midfield. Dom. Njai can't stop Dom. Playing it along. DeLu, Batosh, top of the box, trying to return it. No one making that run into the area. Blanchett claims. It's the kind of side-to-side passing that Oakland have failed to really do in our match up to this point. Haven't been able to break down Tulsa in that regard. Reed. Home crowd feels he was pushed, as does Reed. Bradley Bourgeois. Physical contest here. Just physical in the end. Maybe a little bit beyond. The referee certainly felt that it was clean, and it's another throw now for Tulsa, who have almost gotten through 3 minutes of the added time. 7 minutes, quite a good amount to have to work their way through. It's a foul.
You just pull down in the box, you call that? Gotta be consistent.
Free kick for the Roots. Pacheco committing that foul. He took a shot after. Has to be careful, he's on the yellow card. Blanchett. Half of the stoppage time is gone. Do Oakland have at least one more chance in them? Try and earn a split of the points. El Mesnaoui heads it back forward. Rasmussen can't get ahead to it. That's kept in play. Pushed back, Bourgeois. Donaciano scuffs it back to Blanchett.
Boy, that's a foul again. Not being consistent.
Flicked along by Njai. Diaz can't get a foot to it. Cleared up field. Big contest there. DeLu wins it. Riley went diving in for it, couldn't get there. It's a well-weighted ball to try and seal the points. Blanchett comes up huge. Donaciano steps forward, and still a chance for the Roots. Along the far side, Sherry gets there. 3 in the box for Oakland. Sherry loses his dribble. Anywhere will do, especially that far into the stands for Tulsa.
Heads up.
Long throw being prepped by the Roots. Toss into the mixer. Headed along, the bicycle kick clearance comes off. Rasmussen. Clipped into the box. Acrobatic. Oh, it's just off target. How close did they come to a spectacular equalizer? Memo Diaz. It opened up for him, but his shot goes wide.
Falls kindly to Memo Diaz. Nice little lofted ball from Rasmussen, but just watch his body position. The way that he sizes it up is fantastic. Leaning away from the ball to get his leg horizontal with the ground. Unable to swipe down or to get it underneath the crossbar. Memo Diaz definitely does have that quality.
Sebastian Sanchez and Arthur Rogers both coming into the match. Harvey St. Clair will make way. Long way off the field for St. Clair. Another strong appearance for the Englishman. Rogers, in his return from injury, will get a few minutes, and his biggest task will be making sure to just keep this one anywhere from Penranda and the Tulsa net. Booth, St. Clair, the players making way. Just the second appearance back from injury for Rogers since mid-April. If they can mount a playoff push, Tulsa, you would not be surprised if it's on the back of Arthur Rogers continuing to elevate in minutes and importance as he returns in his recovery from injury. Rodriguez back, first time forward. Reed in the area, but it's pushed along. Cleared forward. We'll go out for a goal kick. We've had 7 minutes. There was a sizable pause. We'll see how much more Thomas Snyder offers on top. Blanchette, long. Rasmussen. Cleared away. Right to Blanchette. There's a glance at the watch by Snyder, and still we play on. Headed away. Donaciano, back forward. That header goes wide rather than away, and Jai brings it down. Curled towards goal. Panarenda gets a hand to it to parry it away. It's a corner. I think we'll have enough time for just about that, maybe a little more.
Really clever from Ndrai. First at the technical ability, but just watch Panarenda. He gets caught cheating. He thinks his ball's getting whipped in, but quickly has to come across.
Memo Diaz in the 99th minute. Delivery into the box. The header goes up. Gagi back into the mix. Chested down by Cherie. Hooked away. And that will do it. Tulsa see out the 3 points. A gutsy performance on the road, and they win 1-0 over the Roots.
What a massive performance this is for FC Tulsa and Mario Sanchez. Asked him what the keys were coming into this game. He said we have to be compact in our defensive structure. Did that and more. You created a little bit more numbers going forward. It's a fantastic goal. And you go back home with all 3 points in your back pocket.
They end a run of 5 without a win. They win this one, courtesy of a goal from Aaron Bibu by a score of 1-0. Final score brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Full-time highlights to come. Roots 0, Tulsa 1.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't many adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Eating a balanced diet and being physically active are two of the most important things you can do to be healthy at any age. Fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins can help control your weight and prevent heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Regular exercise can help boost your mood, digestion, and sleep. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots encourage you to eat right and get active. For additional healthy tips, come visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. The Oakland Roots and Bart want to make sure you get home. Visit bart.gov/planner to plan your trip. Full-time score, the Oakland Roots 0, FC Tulsa 1. An important early goal from Aaron Bibu separates the two sides. Jack Edwards and Ricky Lopez-Espin here with you to round out our broadcast this afternoon. The big moment came in the 8th minute, Ricky. Well-placed ball over the top for Stefan Stojanovic and was put away by Bibu.
And it's a fantastic build-up from FC Tulsa. First, it's an ongoing run from Stojanovic. He runs towards the channel, and the run from Owen Dom pulls out both center backs. So now you're asking Bibu to find the cutback. Makes no mistake about the finish. Head down, wraps his foot around it. No chance for Paul Blanchette, and that's all it needed for FC Tulsa to take a massive 3 points.
Full-time stats, 10 shots, a lot of possession for Oakland, but in the end, Ricky, your full-time thoughts on this, just not enough for them.
Gavin Glinton needs to figure out how to break through teams, because now teams are just sitting back. They're getting into a mid to low block, and it's been way too predictable for the Oakland Roots. You need a little bit more of a pocket presence through combination play, but if you're Mario Sanchez, you had a game plan and you executed to perfection.
That does it. Our full-time score, Tulsa taking the 3 points here. For Oakland, next up, they're at Memphis. For Tulsa, back home against El Paso in their next match. A fun one to have here with you on CBS Sports Golazo this afternoon. For my broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez-Espin, our producer, Jonathan Solano, and our entire production crew, I'm Jack Edwards saying so long from Pioneer Stadium. A full-time score, the Oakland Roots 0, FC Tulsa 1. Have a great rest of your Sunday night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.